Hello, Facebook fans and YouTube fans of DX Engineering. It's Thursday afternoon here in the Eastern time zone of the USA. It is time for the DX Engineering Manufacturer Showcase. And this is a show where we try to bring our over 160 different manufacturers that we represent at DX Engineering onto the show so that you can learn more about them. Today, however, we're bringing one of our strategic partners. Please welcome Ray, W2RE, and Ray is one of the principals and the knowledge base behind remote ham radio. Hello, Ray.
Hey, Tim, it's great to be with you.
It's great to have you on, Ray. And give everybody just a little bit of a background history on how remote ham radio got started.
Well, it got started in 2012 when we bought a QTH up in the mountains in the Catskills in Summit, New York. And Lee, my business partner, W2DX, and I would drive up to the site, and it would take 2 hours each way to get there. And we realized quickly that the long drive wasn't working out for us. So we decided to explore the remote technology at the time. And back then it was a ICOM 706 and a remote rig. And that's how we got started.
Yeah. Now, fast forward. Ray, are you seeing my screen?
I'm seeing the remote ham radio web screen. Yep.
Yep. Good. And so fast forward to the last year or so. What have you guys been doing?
Oh wow, we've been doing quite a bit. We built a few stations, as you know. One of them being the premier station in Jonesport, Maine, where today we have 5 towers up to 200 feet, and all flex gear. We built that station for primarily for contesting, but it's on the RHR network. We also got FT8 in the cloud working on our network, meaning that anybody that comes in and joins the service, they don't have to download WJST or any of that type of software. They can come right in, connect to a station, turn the radio to the FT8 mode, and they'll have a screen pop up automatically doing all the decodes for them and transmissions for them on FT8. So those are the two major things we've done recently. We have other stations in development. My partner Lee has a beautiful camp up in the northern part of Maine. We're going to be developing that soon. And we have other stations in development. So the past year, even with the pandemic, we've been working through it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's really exciting, and you've got stations now in other countries. Talk about that.
Yeah, so we have Croatia, 9 Alpha 1 Tango Tango. Richard, he's doing some incredible work over there in Europe with the young people, but he was able to get the Croatian radio government over there to allow remote access for U.S. operators or for anybody with a SEPT agreement with Croatia. So we have this great station in Croatia at 9 Alpha 1 Tango Tango. We also have a station in Haiti that's been on solar power. I'm thinking now 6 or 7 years we've had that station on solar power. And just imagine, it's a third world country. And I'm amazed it's even still up and running, because we can't get there. You know how dangerous it is to get to Haiti. We also have a station in Puerto Rico, and RHR is strategically trying to find a location in the Caribbean to build, but that's pretty difficult. So we're just going to sit around and see if somebody wants to sell one to us.
Well, that sounds great, and just taking a look at some of these stations, it's just beautiful. The workmanship. The antennas look fabulous, right?
Yes. It's quite a bit of work to keep the stuff up and running. We use a product out of Europe, GXP antennas, and they seem to survive the harsh winters on these mountaintops and ocean fronts. We also use DX engineering product at every site. We have the multiple DX engineering verticals for 4 squares at all 3 stations in Maine. And we also, and you know, without DX engineering, most of these stations wouldn't be built, because half the material comes from your great company. So, you know, it's great to be on here with DX engineering, talking about, you know, this great partnership we have.
Well, it really is a special relationship, Ray, and we are so glad to supply the antennas and feed lines and guy wire and tower. I mean, everything that it takes. This is a tremendous amount of work. I mean, you know, do you have dozens of people doing this?
No, that's, you know, there's a lot of misconceptions out there in the hobby. They think we're a large corporation. It's just the 4 of us. It's my son and I who go out in the field and keep these stations up and running. Lee's an IT guy, infrastructure. He handles, you know, everything here at RHR is automated. So even the stations being automated, the whole system is automated. Billing, logbook of the world, club log. It's just endless. And these guys, Lee WW2DX and Rock WW1X, even though they don't get out in the field much, they're doing tremendous work behind the scenes. They don't get the credit that I happen to get because I'm more vocal. But these guys do a tremendous job.
Yeah, you know, this is a great partnership that you have with Rock and Lee and your son Bobby. Just 4 of you running the whole show here. But let's talk for a second about some of the initiatives that you have in the Ray. Let's talk about the youth initiative.
Right. So we have this youth program. It started off, you know, let's get the couple kids on the air and see how it goes. Of course, for free. Anybody under the age of 26 years old that has an FCC license could come in and operate these stations for free. But the program grew so quickly, Tim, we could no longer have them on the paying service. So what we did, we partnered with a bunch of ham radio has a great community. There are some really good people in this hobby. And, you know, we partnered up with some station owners who were willing to give back to the hobby. And using our software, we have 13 stations today where the youths can get on the air and operate for free. And I can tell you I'm not dealing with the youth on a daily basis, but Bobby is really busy because there's at least 2 or 3, sometimes 4 youths a day that come in that he has to sign up on the service. And most of them, I wouldn't say most of them, I would say half of them are coming out of Europe because the great work that 9 Alpha 1 Tango Tango Richard's doing with the European community over there. I mean, with the youth European community, it's just amazing. So yeah, the program is really taken off. We have 13 stations now. We may expand as needed, but right now we're holding on. They do get really good stations. One of them's in the state of Maine with a 70-foot tower, 1,500 watts. One in Long Island, same thing. And you know, some of them are just dipoles and trees, but you know, it gets them on the air, which is the most important thing.
Well, it is, and it's a great initiative, and I know, you know, you're doing it for free, and what a tremendous way, Ray, for you guys to be giving back to the hobby.
I couldn't agree more. You know, not only that, Tim, we also give back in other ways as well. We're a major donor for the Bouvet DXpedition. They needed a bunch of amplifiers, so we donated an amplifier to them. We're also major donors to the WRTC. You know, it's very important for us to give back to the hobby. You know, just like DX engineering. I see DX engineering everywhere, giving back. It's really important that you do that.
It is, and just so glad to have this partnership with you. I want A couple of things here in the chat room. Juan, Yankee Sierra 1, Juliet Fox Echo is on, and he says, hello to everyone. We work with RHR on YOTA in Croatia 2022. It's an awesome way to work. And 73 Richard, 9 Alpha 1 Tango Tango. So Juan, thanks very much. And we also have Addie, G6 Alpha Delta, and condolences, Addie, on the Queen. We've worked many stations working remote via 9 Alpha, always a big signal. Great job. And let's see, Juan says, Millie, Yankee Sierra 1, Yankee X-Ray India, and me are studying to get our U.S. license and Croatian license to work RHR. So that is perpetuating this. Peter says, happy customer here, mostly for hunting parks on the air without a home station for now. So look at that. I mean,
yep.
You're giving K0 Bravo Alpha Kilo a way to get on the air, right?
Absolutely. And, Tim, it's you'd be amazed. We don't go out and talk about these things, but, there's a huge influx around the world where ham operators in other countries, specifically Japan, where these guys are taking their FCC license remotely so they can gain access to our stations. That's how big it's become.
Right. No, that I'm sure this has grown in many ways beyond what you originally thought was possible, Ray.
This was only built to be incremental income, Tim. As you know, as a businessman, you need multiple revenue streams. And, this was going to be one of the revenue streams. And this has just become bigger than we ever thought. And this year, this is the best year since our existence. Every year it gets better and better and better. So the business is growing, new customers. And I tell you, I honestly think I have the best job in ham radio. I get to go to these sites, build these sites, happy people, happy customers. The youth are happy. It's just an awful lot of fun.
Yeah, no, you're doing great work. And Roger says, what does a ham need to do? Would be willing to provide some time each week to get youth on the air. So November Kilo 1 India, I believe. And so Roger, just go to the Remote Ham Radio website and use the contact us, and you can get in touch with Ray and Lee and get set up there. So, Ray, this was so good to have you on, and 10 years of doing this. I mean, yes. It's hard to imagine what might happen in the next 10 years.
Yes, in 10 years from now, Tim, I'll be, hopefully retired. I just turned 57. It gets harder and harder to climb those towers, so who knows what 10 years is going to bring. Oh, hopefully I'll have my feet up and I can start contesting and just having, enjoying the hobby. Right now, I'm working the hobby.
You're enjoying and working at the same time. And thank you for all you do, and the rest of the team there at RHR. And it was so good to have you on today. And the show doesn't end, because here in another minute or so, we're going to bring on Ohio State Parks on the air. But Ray, give our best to Lee and to Rock and to Bobby. And again, thanks for all you do.
Yeah, Tim, before I leave, I just want to say one thing. So yesterday, we ordered 125 feet, I think it was LMR 600 with some end connectors on it. You guys just do a fantastic job putting these coax connectors on these coax that we need. And Melanie gets it out the next day for us. I mean, you guys got the best service. Customer support, no better than that. Appreciate being on today, Tim.
Ray, it was great to have you on. Thanks so much. And we'll continue to watch RHR grow and give back to amateur radio. So take care and be safe on all those towers.
Thanks, Tim. My pleasure.
Okay. And you can go ahead and drop off, Ray, and we're going to bring Parky, KB8UUZ, is coming on with us. Hello, Tom, Parky. How are you?
Pretty good, Tim. How's it? Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you're coming through great, Parky. And so tell us, how did Ohio State Parks on the Air happen?
Well, back in 2008, it was just couple of years after we started the club, Jim Alward, KC8PD, he's a Silent Key now, but you probably remember him. He came up with the idea and contacted the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and explained what we wanted to do. We wanted to be able to have hams go out to all the state parks in Ohio and get on the air, make contacts with each other and make contacts with other people that weren't in parks, maybe not even in Ohio and even overseas. And it's been going along really, really good. And this is going to be our 15th year coming up Saturday that we're going to be doing this.
So this comes up on Saturday in 15 years of Ohio state parks on the air. So you were doing state parks on the air before Parks on the Air was a thing.
Yeah, in fact, ARRL paid attention to what we were doing. And then back in 2016, they came out with the National Parks on the Air program that lasted a whole year because of the 100th anniversary. And they based it off what we did with Ohio state parks.
So how many state parks are there in Ohio?
Right now, there is 75 parks, but there's another one coming. We got word that they broke ground. In fact, it's down near the Xenia Hamvention, and they just broke ground. It won't be ready until next year sometime, which means that we'll bring it on in the contest in 2024. So there'll be 76 parks then.
So, 76 parks. Now, this Saturday is the 15th running of this. And how many stations will be on and how many parks will be on?
Well, right now, let's see, I got a little note down here someplace. Right now, we've got 46 parks that people don't have to reserve a park. We do have a list. We maintain a list on the IO group, and we've got commitments, and sometimes they change, for 46 parks by 58 different groups or individuals. So, and more will come in, and so that's not firm.
So you have so hopefully the weather is good for Saturday throughout the state of Ohio. But I gotta believe that there's a lot of activity from people outside the state of Ohio wanting to work these parks.
Oh yeah, we get contacts into the parks from all over the United States, and one of the categories in the contest is if you're out of state, you can get a nice certificate if you win in that category as well.
So you get certificates. There's, here's a Worked All Ohio State Park Award. So,
yeah, that is actually not sponsored by PCARS. It's sponsored by one of the members of PCARS, Tom, WB8LCD, who you know. And he threw that up there, I don't know, 3-4 years ago. And actually, the very first Worked All Parks Award went to WG8X John, and he got that award. And then just a few months ago, he actually completed the Activated All State Parks Award. So it can be done.
Wait a minute. He activated all 75 state parks?
Yeah, during the year he went around it, because that award, you don't have to do it just during the contest. You can do it anytime. And it took him a while. In fact, one of the hardest parks to get to is on North Bass Island in Lake Erie. You have to fly in. You have to hire an airplane to fly you into the airport, and you set up next to the hangar because that's where it's at. And he got on the air. So he actually activated every one of the parks too.
Wow. And now, Tom, we're taking a look at the last results, and you've been chairman. Have you been chairman all along here?
No, I took over in 2014, and I've been chairman since then.
Okay.
And there's only a few people that are involved in this committee, and that's myself and John, WG8X, Chuck, WAPT, John, KB8UHN, and Joe, W8KNO. And we get together after the contest is over and all the logs have been sent in. We do some pre-processing, and then we sit around the table and we go through all the logs, and we do that once a year, and we've been doing it, and to get all the results out, and then the certificates are printed up and sent out to the winners.
So last year, 58 parks were activated, so you had that. That's a pretty, and the pandemic was still hanging around, but you had over 199 hams that took part.
Right. Yeah, that's great because and you're looking at the results there, and the last page of that has every one of the hams call signs that were involved in making contacts and whatever. Yeah, we had 60 parks activated. 2 of them didn't send logs in. We had 36 clubs involved in this thing, and they have a lot of fun. They go out there. It's not a terrible long contest. It starts at 10 o'clock in the morning and then runs till 6, because some of the parks they close when the sun starts going down. So that's why it's not a real long contest. Yeah, it runs from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and but they make a complete day out of it. They'll be grilling stuff and having a good old time and sitting around and a lot of BSing going on. And then once about 3 years ago, I hopped in a car and I started going around to the different sites, as many as I could hit, just to say hi to the people. And everybody was having fun with this.
Well, it is really a super event, Tom, and I'm looking here at the 36 clubs that were represented. Now, if a group or even an individual wants to activate a park, how should they approach the park?
Well, we always recommend that you go visit the park ahead of time. Don't wait until a day before, or on the contest day. Go there ahead of time. Talk to the rangers. We do have some FAQs and some information that they can give to the park ranger on the website there, explaining what we're doing, what we're going to do, and we try to tell the park ranger it's not an event. An event is like a wedding or something like that. This is just hams visiting the park. They just happen to have their radios and they're going to have fun. That way, if you don't say it's an event, you don't have to pay extra money. You don't have to have all kinds of insurance and that type of thing. And most of the parks have been very, very helpful with it. They look at that and they go, "Oh, okay, that's cool." And then we always invite the ranger over. When we get there, come on, we'll get you on the air. Boy, the smiles happen there, and then they never bother us. So they understand what's going on. And I've talked to the ODNR down in Columbus. They've been on board with this thing since it started.
And you've really got a super website, OSPOTA.org. So that's Ohio State Parks on the Air, OSPOTA.org. And is there a place on the website to ask questions, Tom?
Oh, yeah. They can send an email to information at OSPOTA, and it actually gets forwarded to me. We also have an IO group that they can go to on the web, or not on the web, but on the internet. And we're also on Facebook. Look up OSPOTA, and so you'll find some information there as well.
And during the event, during the contest on Saturday, is there a lot of activity on Facebook with the various operations posting?
Well, we encourage it. In fact, I encourage them to take a lot of photographs anyway to send in, so I can put that into the final results. So we can get some photos of everybody and all their setups. We do encourage posting it on clusters. We don't want you to self-spot, because that's always a little hokey. But you just ask somebody else to spot you, and you'll be on the cluster. In fact, when I'm on the air from home here, that's what I consider my main job. Is I make contacts with all the parks that I can, and I make sure they put them on the cluster so they get more involved. More people get out there and have fun.
And of course, contacting state parks in Ohio, that works towards the bigger Parks on the Air awards, right?
Yes, yes, it does. And on our website, we do have a little chart that you can download that gives you the K number for all the Ohio state parks. So you can use that your contacts for two different things, not only for SPOTA, but also for POTA.
Now, do you have guys that come in from neighboring states to help activate some of the Ohio parks?
Actually, you'd be surprised how many people come over the border from Pennsylvania to get into this thing. I would say the majority of the out of state people that come over to Ohio come from Pennsylvania because they just have a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, that's really great. Well, it's a super event, and thank you so much for your leadership and your volunteer crew that puts this on, takes care of the logs, and sending out the awards. And this is really a super event. So, Tom, thanks so much for doing this.
Okay, well, we appreciate it you having us on to talk about OSPOTA, and we'll be looking forward to hearing everybody on the air Saturday.
Yep, get on the air, have some fun, work the parks, and keep these guys busy. We don't want you eating too much, Parky.
And they have some pretty good food at those places.
Well, I know there's a lot of DX Engineering employees that are off tomorrow getting ready. So,
Oh yeah,
but we will still have the phones manned.
yeah. One of the main crews that they go to Punderson, Ed and George, and I think Wayne will be there this year because Amy goes. So Punderson, there'll be a good showing from DXE people.
Well, it sounds like an all DXE crew. So really excited about that. Well, thanks again, Tom, and good luck to you. And we hope everybody has a safe activation this Saturday, Ohio State Parks on the Air. And thanks to all of you. This was a really kind of an experiment to put two topics on in one show. And man, it worked out great. And I want to thank Ray and Remote Ham Radio and Tom, KB8UUZ. Tom is our chief technical writer, writes all the fabulous DX engineering manuals. And so the next time you look for a DX engineering manual, you can think about KB8UUZ. And to all of you, thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for the weekend special. Until then, 73 from DX Engineering.
7-3.